Does he walk? Does he walk? Yes, what about the rest of the countries? Yes, what about the rest of the countries? This puzzle is difficult to solve. This puzzle is difficult to solve. He better apologize for his behavior. He better apologize for his behavior. I'm not going to eat until I finish this mission. I'm not going to eat until I finish this mission. We have to finish our homework. We have to finish our homework. The movie starts at 6 p.m. The movie starts at 6 p.m. Was her daughter a hydrologist? Was her daughter a hydrologist? We had visited that museum on our previous trip to the city. We had visited that museum on our previous trip to the city. Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with that? Term. Both parties must be willing to work together. Both parties must be willing to work together. I can talk to you tomorrow. I can talk to you tomorrow. Can't we sit for 2 p.m.? Can't we sit for 2 p.m.? What are you working on today? What are you working on today? He hopes to pass the driver's license test on the first try. He hopes to pass the driver's license test on the first try. Social. Is your favorite fruit apple or orange? Is your favorite fruit apple or orange? I visited my grandfather last weekend. I visited my grandfather last weekend. Was your father an actor? Was your father an actor? Must be completed only if an individual is nominated for the promotion. Must be completed only if an individual is nominated for the promotion. My wife was a detective. My wife was a detective. I will help you with your homework, he said to his sister. I will help you with your homework, he said to his sister. He died when I was 8 years old. He died when I was 8 years old. He had always dreamed of being a pilot, and he finally did. He had always dreamed of being a pilot, and he finally did. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Could not appear. Could not appear. That taxi driver. That taxi driver. I will see your friends. I will see your friends. The reason for his absence was unclear. The reason for his absence was unclear. The children played together in the park. The children played together in the park. Was her grandmother a freelancer? Was her grandmother a freelancer? She had been teaching for 10 years before deciding to change her career. She had been teaching for 10 years before deciding to change her career. She sings beautifully. She sings beautifully. If he spoke Spanish, he would work as a translator. If he spoke Spanish, he would work as a translator. Wouldn't he offer? Wouldn't he offer? I have some information about the new product. I have some information about the new product. I have to learn everything from scratch. I have to learn everything from scratch. Was your neighbor a merchant? Was your neighbor a merchant? Children are playing in the park. Children are playing in the park. Is it acceptable to ask for money as a wedding gift? Is it acceptable to ask for money as a wedding gift? Should save at sunrise. Should save at sunrise. Hey Susanna, come talk to me. Hey Susanna, come talk to me. He was playing every day. He was playing every day. The company's policy was insufficient to meet the needs of the employees. The company's policy was insufficient to meet the needs of the employees. I just finished my homework. I just finished my homework. He didn't come to the party because he was sick. He didn't come to the party because he was sick. They could not measure. They could not measure. We weren't close for 5 weekends before. We weren't close for 5 weekends before. He started learning French 3 months ago. He started learning French 3 months ago. Could you tell us about the university's support services for international students? Could you tell us about the university's support services for international students? A good cook. A good cook. It should last. It should last. They will have finished the construction of the building by next month. They will have finished the construction of the building by next month. Did you play the piano as a kid? Did you play the piano as a kid? We wish we had more opportunities for personal growth. We wish we had more opportunities for personal growth. It was for me. It was for me. You're out of control. You're out of control. Would occupy. Would occupy. Didn't it cost 5 months ago? Didn't it cost 5 months ago? Don't they jump? Don't they jump? I'm excited for my 11 o'clock class. I'm excited for my 11 o'clock class. Now we can remember. Now we can remember. Was your grandfather a cook? Was your grandfather a cook? Surrender. Surrender. It was a great success. It was a great success. Can be selected immediately. Can be selected immediately. Tonsils and adenoids. Tonsils and adenoids. They go to the lake in summer days. They go to the lake in summer days. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to the bank. He better apologize for his behavior. He better apologize for his behavior. Bought a new laptop. Bought a new laptop. Had he ever traveled alone before his backpacking trip? Had he ever traveled alone before his backpacking trip? Point out. Point out. Will not use. Will not use. Is his wife a worker? Is his wife a worker? I was aware of this problem. I was aware of this problem. The letter was written in English. The letter was written in English. These are cute kitties. These are cute kitties. Do I remove it? Do I remove it? Believe it or not, for a long time. Believe it or not, for a long time. Are we inspector in 5 hours? Are we inspector in 5 hours? Are you invited at 5 p.m.? Are you invited at 5 p.m.? Do you know of a good restaurant in this area? Do you know of a good restaurant in this area? After one night he gets scared. After one night he gets scared. 2. I am going to the theater. 2. I am going to the theater. Something happened tonight. We have to go. Something happened tonight. We have to go. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Valuable. Valuable. Is her stepbrother a doctor? Is her stepbrother a doctor? Please give us your account number. Please give us your account number. Should he forget? Should he forget? What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? Should not recognize. Should not recognize. You must enter after 1 day. You must enter after 1 day. Avoid asking questions. Avoid asking questions. When do you have lunch? When do you have lunch? Both options have their drawbacks. Both options have their drawbacks. All tickets for the concert are sold out. All tickets for the concert are sold out. Disclaimer. Disclaimer. He likes to read books in his spare time. He likes to read books in his spare time. He enjoys playing the guitar in his spare time. He enjoys playing the guitar in his spare time. We have the food delivered to our door. We have the food delivered to our door. Which is your favorite aquarium? Which is your favorite aquarium? We told you. We told you. I have a couple of paints. I have a couple of paints. He studied hard to get into a prestigious university. He studied hard to get into a prestigious university. There are too many books on your shelf. There are too many books on your shelf. Children are playing with their toys. Children are playing with their toys. He is a very reliable person. He is a very reliable person. She is a doctor. She is a doctor. His sisters are missionaries. His sisters are missionaries. Can you meet the deadline? Can you meet the deadline? Warns annually. Warns annually. It won't hit in 2 years. It won't hit in 2 years. Politicians are in control of the behavior of all people. Politicians are in control of the behavior of all people. Should not recognize. Should not recognize. My friends were laughing at a funny joke. My friends were laughing at a funny joke. Do you sell fresh herbs and spices? Do you sell fresh herbs and spices? Further. Further. I can go shopping for new clothes. I can go shopping for new clothes. We wouldn't be ready for one afternoon. We wouldn't be ready for one afternoon. What about me? What about me? I can't wait to spend time with my friends and family. I can't wait to spend time with my friends and family. Do you have a resume? Do you have a resume? May I help you? May I help you? They will reply soon. They will reply soon. His half-brother was an archaeologist. His half-brother was an archaeologist. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day. The room was cleaned by the hotel staff. The room was cleaned by the hotel staff. Once in a month. Once in a month. Wouldn't you be a civil engineer in 2 days? Wouldn't you be a civil engineer in 2 days? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Do they need to be placed last year? Do they need to be placed last year? Can you defend in the afternoon? Can you defend in the afternoon? I study diligently. I study diligently. I have a pain in my head. I have a pain in my head. Aren't we going to be rangers soon? Aren't we going to be rangers soon? You shouldn't do engineering every year. You shouldn't do engineering every year. Please don't blame yourself. Please don't blame yourself. John, what's your vendor ID you're talking about? John, what's your vendor ID you're talking about? Take 2 pills a day. Take 2 pills a day. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. It did not work for testing and failed as a result. It did not work for testing and failed as a result. Wasn't he a watchman every year? Wasn't he a watchman every year? He will retire in 5 years. He will retire in 5 years. He'll be away all week. He'll be away all week. Was his half-brother a model? Was his half-brother a model? The museum is open until late on Fridays. The museum is open until late on Fridays.